produced 47 million aborted children since Roe versus Wade. The death of an unborn child is murder in the eyes of God. Mother Teresa said, quote, "The nation that kills its unborn has lost its soul." And I agree. Antonio Gramsci was the architect of the destruction of American culture. His objectives, again, was to penetrate the media, penetrate universities, infiltrate the church. One of Antonio Gramsci's all-star students was Saul Alinsky, influential radical of the 1960s. Alinsky called for a community organizer to get the poor against the rich, the black versus the white, to create choices, maybe crises, and then give power to the government to solve that crisis. Hitler called that the scissor solution. You create the crisis, and then the government gives the power to solve the crisis. Alinsky writes in the dedication of his book, Rules for Radicals, and I've read it. I want you to listen to this, it's shocking. Alinsky writes, quote, "Lest we forget an over-the-shoulder acknowledgement to the very first radical, the first radical known to man who rebelled against the establishment and did so effectively, that at heart won his own kingdom. His name, Lucifer." End of quote. Think about that. Saul Alinsky gave a salute to the devil. Saul Alinsky's teachings have had unlimited impact on the social progressives of America. He's paying tribute to their source, Lucifer. The crisis strategy to destroy America: one, to get as many as possible on welfare. Why? Because that makes them a pawn of the state. They can control you. You're not free, you are bound. Secondly, to create as many entitlements as possible, to overload the economic system with people demanding a free ride, a free education, a free rent, 6 weeks of vacation, free medicine, free taxation, which 47% now don't pay. And what happens is eventually the system collapses. It produces a European economy like Greece that is now economically hanging on by its fingernails. A booming economy will not solve the problems America is facing. 40% of the children born right now are born out of wedlock. 50% is the divorce rate in America. 3,000 women a day are aborting their babies. 19 million new cases of sexually transmitted diseases per year happen in America. Schools are teaching their children there is no right, there is no wrong. Everything is relative. Our society is falling apart. So the question is, what can you do to stop it? What can you do? Social progressives have no problem with any religion but Bible-believing Christianity. Christianity is the target. What must be done? Here's the first and most powerful thing you can do. Determine to pray for America. We are beginning at John Hagee Ministries 40 days of prayer, beginning September the 28th, 2012. We're praying that God will cause a return to righteousness in America, for the Church of Jesus Christ to wake up, for the people in America to recognize that our religious freedom is at stake, that when the government is challenging the Catholic Church to violate its very faith, they will have the power, if they prevail in this next election, to force any church anywhere to do whatever they want you to do. Secondly, to speak up. Thirdly, is to vote the Bible. Stop sending the same spendthrifts to Washington, D.C., or to your state house, or to your city government, who financially enslave your children, who do not have a righteous agenda. If you send an ungodly man to government, he will produce ungodly legislation. That's why the Bible says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people mourn. Right now, the people of America are in mourning because we have sent the same people to Washington who do not have a spiritual agenda. They do not have the biblical roots of the faith.